Go to any fast food restaurant in America. Order a large Coke. Now ask for a large water. The Coke costs $1.29, sometimes less. The water, depending on where you are, costs the same, or more. Or they'll hand you a small cup and point you toward the tap. At McDonald's, a large fountain soda runs under $2. A bottled water runs $2.49. At a baseball stadium, a 20-ounce Dasani will cost you $4. The Pepsi next to it, $3. Think about what's actually in each of those cups. One is a liquid humans literally cannot survive without. The other is, chemically speaking, caramel-colored sugar syrup diluted with carbonated tap water. And the tap water is the expensive ingredient. Something is structured very, very wrong here, or something is structured very, very deliberately. To understand why soda undercuts water on price, you need to understand how both industries were built. Water, for most of human history, was free. You found it, you drank it. The idea of paying for it was somewhere between absurd and offensive. Then, in the 1970s and 80s, Perrier convinced Americans that sparkling water, French sparkling water specifically, was a luxury good. Evian followed, then Fiji, then Dasani and Aquafina, which are, for the record, filtered municipal tap water in a plastic bottle. Pepsi's own website once accidentally confirmed this. They quietly updated the language. The bottled water industry had to build a price from scratch. It had no manufacturing subsidy, no economies of scale from decades of infrastructure, just a plastic bottle, a pump, and a marketing budget. Soda had the opposite problem. By the 1980s, Coca-Cola and PepsiCo had built the most efficient beverage distribution networks on Earth. Thousands of trucks, millions of points of sale, decades of volume. When you spread fixed costs across billions of servings, the price per cup becomes almost theoretical. So soda is cheap because of scale. Water is expensive because it's new. Simple enough, except that's not the reason. Scale explains a lot, but water is also sold at massive scale now. Bottled water passed soda as America's most consumed packaged beverage in 2016. The infrastructure exists. The trucks are the same trucks. The retail relationships are the same relationships. And yet the price gap persists. The question isn't why soda is cheap to make. The question is why it's cheap to buy. And the answer lives somewhere else entirely. Call it the anchor product illusion. Here's how it actually works. Fountain soda at a fast food restaurant costs the restaurant roughly 4 to 6 cents per cup. Syrup, cup, lid, ice, labor combined. At $1.29, that's a profit margin that would make a pharmaceutical executive blush. The soda isn't a product, it's the margin engine. And because the margin is so high, the restaurant has enormous flexibility on pricing. They can sell it cheap as a traffic driver. They can bundle it. They can supersize it for 30 cents more and pocket 29 of them. The drink is the part of the meal where the money actually gets made. Water has no syrup contract, no concentrate deal, no volume rebate from a supplier paying millions to be the exclusive beverage partner. Water is just water, so when a restaurant prices it, they're pricing a commodity with no margin architecture behind it. They either make it free, a loss leader to seem hospitable, or charge roughly what it costs, which turns out to be more than the soda. This is the illusion. You think you're comparing two similar products. You're actually comparing a loss leader system engineered over decades against a product with no system at all. Now extend this to every venue you've ever handed money to: the stadium, the movie theater, the airport terminal. A single fountain Coke at a major sports venue cost to the venue maybe 12 cents. Sale price, $5. The water next to it purchased from a bottler at actual commodity rates with none of that infrastructure, $3 minimum, sometimes more. You might be thinking, shouldn't competition fix this? If water is overpriced, someone should undercut it. And they try, but the soda companies don't just sell soda. They sell the fountain equipment, the maintenance contracts, the branded cups, the syrup on net 60 payment terms. They sell a system. Water is not a system. Water is water. Here's the principle to take away. Price is not a reflection of value. Price is a reflection of systems. A product is cheap when someone has spent a century building the infrastructure to make it cheap and profitable. A product is expensive when that infrastructure doesn't exist, or when no one had the incentive to build it. The next time something essential costs more than something frivolous, don't ask why the essential thing is overpriced. Ask who built the system.